What's up everyone? Vu of NVU Films, tube doucher of the century, back with another idiotic video for you to watch. Today's video is brought to you again at my unfinished kitchen. With that being said, let's get started. Got a new lens today. Just came in, the Sony 35mm f1.4 GM. GM does not stand for G Master, it stands for got money. Because if you could buy a GM lens, you got money. I really don't. But anyways, that is neither here nor there. Somehow I have it in my hands. Let's just put it that way. And no, Sony didn't send it to me. And of course, I still haven't opened it yet. So here it is. Box on the floor. In the bag. Comes with a Sony tube doucher B alpha bag, which I'll never use. Inside is likely the lens, I hope. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull that lens out, just like I failed to do the 2 times I conceived my 2 children. And of course, lens hood, typical Sony fashion lens hood. And here is the lens. And as you can see, like many other tube doucher videos you have already seen covering this lens 3 months ago, you know, all of those advanced reviewers, they already got it and they already said it feels and looks almost exactly like the 24mm G Master. And I do have a 1.4 G Master that I'm filming with right now, and it is completely true. It's pretty much exactly like a 24mm G Master, except it's a 35mm focal length. And I guess before I do like an official review and actually go test and do all these footage, you know, obviously my channel is not the type to do pictures of charts and things of that nature. I'll probably go shoot with it. I'm shooting a wedding this weekend. After I do that and I really get a feel for it, I'll let you know exactly what I think of it. But I want to tell you why I chose to buy this 35mm lens and sell my Sony f1.8 35mm standard non-G Master lens. And the fact is, I just like the 24mm. I really liked this 24mm G Master lens. And when I saw the reviews and I saw like the image is pretty much on par or better than the 35mm f1.8 standard Sony lens, and the fact is f1.4, I was sold. That was that. The only other options we really have is the Zeiss Sony 35mm f1.4, which I used to own. And what I didn't like was one, the way it was built. It's a little bit bigger, a little bit longer than this is. And also the other option is it kind of had some inconsistencies. It wasn't always sharp in the middle. Sometimes it almost looked like it missed focus, but it didn't. Like, it's just not I heard there's like variations between lenses, and I don't like that. You know, I want to make sure that the lens that I got is how it's supposed to perform. So that is the other option, the reason why I didn't like these like Sony f1.4. The other option we have is a Sigma f1.2, and yeah, it's great. I love Sigma DGDN. DN stands for D's Nuts lenses. We all know that, but that lens is massive. It's huge, and that's pretty much what turned me off with from that lens. Is just too big. I'm Asian. I'm not used to lugging around massive things of that nature. I like small quality. Quality, not quantity. That's how we do it, all right? So moving on, let's just make this a 35mm video, right? What is a 35mm for in, you know, in my line of work, filmmaking, videography, cinematography? What is it for? In my opinion, you know, a lot of people prefer other focal lengths, but I think that 35mm focal length is the best focal length for just handheld run and gun shooting for a prime lens. Other than a 24-70, if I had to pick a lens where I was just walking around handheld and just getting shots, you know, those documentary cinematic handheld shots, I think 35mm is a good range. You know, especially if you have to walk. So if you have like a 50mm or 85mm and you gotta walk, that footage is gonna look really rancid. Like, it's gonna look bad because or the more telephoto you have, the more like bounce and shake comes into play. However, the wider the lens, the less noticeable shake, the smoother walking shots look. And the problem with things like 24 and anything wider than 24, it's just too wide, in my opinion, for proper like documentary. And I know the 24 usually looks okay, but then when you start getting all close to it, things look kind of weird. It looks kind of funky. In my opinion, it's just too wide, and I just don't like that look for like a majority of shots. Like here and there, you know, when you get a wide shot, yes. But to me, I prefer to be a little tighter, and I think the 35mm range is the perfect focal length for that kind of documentary handheld shooting. Again, everyone has their own opinion on it, but this is why I like 35mm. But yeah, I mean, this is just a quick unboxing, quick impressions video, just to let you know that I have it, just to let you know to my subscribers, my loyal subscribers, that I have this lens and I'm gonna be testing it this weekend, and I'm gonna do a full video on it sooner rather than later. But before I go, just go ahead and just put this on this lens and take a look at how it actually looks like. Does it sharper more or less than the 24? I'm gonna just go ahead and slap it on right now. Now I am on the 35mm f1.4 lens, and immediately, of course, we are tighter. How does this image look? Is it sharp? Is it trash? How is it tracking my face? Seems okay. How's that? How's the image tracking? It's good autofocus. It's coming in and out. It's hunting. What is it doing? Is it good? Is it bad? Let me know in the comments below. I'll take a look at myself too, but I think so far, just from looking at the monitor here, looking quite good. Color science looks the same. There's no color shift between the 35 and the 24, which is good, as you should expect out of a Sony lens. And as you can see, at 35mm, even though I'm kind of close, my face, you know, still maintains, you know, a pretty regular looking structure. Unlike with the wider lens, you know, your face are getting all distorted and stuff. Of course, when I get like really close, you know, my nose isn't too big. It has really nice, actually pretty decent close focusing ability here, in my opinion. But yeah, you know, I love me with some 35mm action. If you want to see my full review of this 35mm f1.4 lens, please hit the subscribe button. It's greatly appreciated. Give me a like on this video. And until next time, lighten up.